This bill, it's a really simple bill. One of my main complaints from my constituents and my first responders is the visibility of the lines on the road, especially in the more country roads. So all this bill simply says is after the road is paved and the lines are painted, that there has to be a quality assurance on them 6 months after. So they would just come back if the roads doesn't meet the standards that's provided by the transportation cabinet. They will have to restripe the lines. Many of our roads have just been repaved and the lines are completely not visible at nighttime. So it's just a quality assurance check. It's something that the transportation can add into their contracts if it's not visible. And I'm going to let these guys briefly speak a moment on some of their experiences on the roads at night.
Again, Brad Spalding. So my experience through the county engineer would be more of the rural areas of Kentucky, which I'm sure you guys represent. The complaint typically comes that they can't be seen. I believe there's a current standard now that the state does is within 30 days they test the reflectivity of it. They do great guidance to counties. We follow what the state does on a lot of our roads. That may be a little too quick within 30 days to test these roads to see if they comply. I think the 6-month request is reasonable and not a request of additional funds, but a reasonable request to ensure that they meet compliance with what's required.
Just a couple statistics that support this. The studies have consistently shown that enhancing reflectivity significantly improves road safety and reduces crashes. That's from an FHA study in 2015. Also in NHTSA showed that even though 80% of the road travel happens during the day, 50% of the crashes happen at night.
To add to that, the reflective road markings reduces the workload on nighttime drivers, allowing them to focus more on their surroundings. Also, specifically, wet weather reflective paint has shown to reduce the nighttime crashes by 30% and the fatalities by 50%.
I just wanted to give you guys I guess a local perspective or a practitioner's perspective from the first responder side, where this is a very common sense piece of legislation. It does not have a large cost attributed to it. I would hazard to bet that every one of your constituents and every one of your districts, if you talk to them, they would bring this up as a point of concern. Most especially if you have young drivers. I have a young 17-year-old daughter that's just out on the road, and especially at night, in the rain, in construction areas, or especially in rural parts of the state, and many of you do represent rural parts of the state, you know how hard it is to drive, even if you have experience. And now that we're reducing the driver's age, I mean, we're down to 15 now to get your permit. So we're going to have a lot more inexperienced drivers out on the road. This is just proven in states that have implemented legislation like this to try to boost that reflectivity. That's what it is. It's how long will that last? I know that the cabinet does what they can with the limited funds that are given to them every year, but we would just like to support this and ask that the cabinet to look at the durability of the paint that they're putting down. It may be fine for the first 6 months or a year, but how long does it last, and how often do we restripe? It may be that we might need to restripe not quite as often, but if that's the case, then we need to have paint that will last longer. So that's why we support this. Our ad district supports this. I know all of our first responder agencies in Nelson County and other counties support this, and we're just appreciate the time to bring this before you today. Thank you.
Thank you all. And we do have a question. You got Representative Massaroni. Do you have something
And
else?
with that, I mean, I would be happy to work with the transportation cabinet. If there's other solutions, we would absolutely be happy to work with them.